I can't breathe because I feel so in love when I'm laying next to him. Like, it is so fucking intense.
So let me ask you, are you still in love with that person?
What?
Are you still in love with that person?
What?
Are you still in love with that person?
I'm not with that person anymore. No. Yes, but we're not together.
Okay, great.
But things can change.
And you can breathe.
So what happened?
Still breathing.
That's what I was going to say. That's a very dangerous place to be at.
Look. Because if you were so in love and when you lay next to him, you saw the moon and the stars and like, whoa, what the fuck happened?
JC, stop playing.
Hey, yo,
what happened? No, I'm completely honest. What happens is people change and trust gets broken. And the thing is, when you feel that close to someone is when you have no walls up and you have complete vulnerability.
He didn't love you like you loved him. That's what happened.
Bro, what she's saying is exactly what the fuck I've been trying to explain. I've been saying on here for months that
That's Gigi from Kappa Alpha Psi speaking.
I'm connected emotionally, JC. I have a beautiful emotional connection with my partners. And when I say it's beautiful, it is beautiful. My sex is so interconnected. When I say I can feel everything in my body, I can feel it in my body. That's how emotionally and spiritually
I think
connected.
every time you have sex, somebody can feel something in their body.
No, okay, listen. For those of people that have not experienced tantric, y'all don't know. Y'all don't know.
That's true.
You can think if a girl is hot. You can think her titties are not.
There's a difference. Hold on, Gypsy. There's a difference between fucking and making love. And it sounds to me there's a lot of motherfuckers on the stage that have been fucking.
Sometimes they can be both. Sometimes they can be both.
We done made love and fuck.
But when I say there's an emotional connection, what Gypsy is saying is literally exactly what I'm trying to
and a coat.
Sounds like there's not a lot of men on the stage that have experienced it. It is a beautiful connection.
And having a soul tie.
What was that, Queen?
There's a difference between being stigmatized and having a soul tie. I'm not trying to even be funny.
True.
No, it's fact.
True. Thank you, Christina. True. Now,
So, Gigi,
and I'm sorry to say that
you.
a lot of men on this stage haven't experienced that, because I would really love for more people to experience that type of connection. If you are with somebody, you are married with somebody, and your ass really out there thinking about fucking the next bitch, your cup is not fulfilled. You think it is, lying to your fucking self.
Men don't have the ability to get there.
But hold on, Carl. If you can leave your wife and literally move on and fuck another bitch like the next week, the next month, whatever the case may be, your connection may just be a little off. And ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's not true.
All right. Well, look, fuck who you want to fuck. Maybe maybe that's how your connection is.
We all
I'm
human.
just saying.
Spiritual connection.
People just aren't, Gigi, people just aren't on that spiritual level. You have to be within yourself on a certain spiritual level to be able to experience that with another person. You have to have a certain level of vulnerability that a lot of people aren't willing to have to be able to experience such a deep soul connection.
I don't think either one of y'all can tell someone else what type of level of spiritual connection with themselves or another person is when everybody is just individual thoughts, individual feelings, individual, hearts, individual souls. And you just said you were in love with somebody to where you lay next to him and, you felt like God was next to you. But then again, that faded. That's out of there. So, I could be in judgment of you in that, but I'm just a human. You're just a human. So, you can't tell somebody their level of love, or their level of commitment or soul or anything.
No, you're right. You're completely right. I don't know your brain. I don't know what it's like to be inside. And you're completely right with that. I'm just saying, I agree with Gigi where I've dated people, I've had amazing sex, but when there's a certain level of it, no one else matters. And that's for me personally.
Gigi said you can't look at nobody. I just want to say.
I got something to say.
Go ahead. Let's let the first
Gigi.
king go. And who was
we
the
all
second
got something
one?
to say.
Shopify.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shopify. I heard you trying to speak earlier. Go ahead.
Yeah, Gigi, you said you can't look at like a nigga can be married and he can't look at another woman.
I don't even know who's talking. I'm sorry. Who's speaking?
It's Trap talking. It's Trap. You said I heard you earlier say I don't want to get your words twisted, but it sounded like you said if you married or something, you're in a deep relationship, you can't even look at it. It wouldn't be right to look at a woman.
So what I said was I had a veil over my eyes. That shit didn't faze me, is what I said. It's not about what I want that person to do. It's because of that intimate, emotional soul. That it's just a different connection, Trap. And I can't explain it to you. I can't tell you not to look at another woman. That would be your connection and you're tied to me. to say how you.
But I'm just saying, you can't walk
you
around with your eyes closed. Those you gonna look.
Right, but that's the thing. You can look all you want, but if you do not have that veil, you're going to wonder. Your cup is not full. That's you. If you're one of those people that have never been able to look past a pair of titties and an ass walking by and get your dick hard, that is you. There are men out there.
I was in a relationship for 5 years with my baby mama, right? We was in a relationship for 5 years. I never cheated on her. We live together, so I get pussy from her anytime I want. I ain't have to cheat. She gonna make sure I didn't cheat. But I go to the strip club every night. That was our business. We ran the strip club. We go to the strip club every night. I see titties and ass all day long. So it's like, some of them look, oh, God damn, I hit that. I don't think that mean I don't love my baby mama that much. I still wouldn't hit it because she a stripper probably. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that shit might not be clean to my baby mama. But don't mean I won't look like, damn, she fine as hell. Look at Beyonce. Look at all these bad bitches in the world. Man, I'm looking. And shit,
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who I'm with, boy. I see Beyonce, boy, I'm looking.
My baby mama go look. She go.
Well, that's because, like you just said, you guys did that together. You both had open veils. Those things you didn't care. Those things did not affect your spiritual connection. That is you. That's why I want to hear from men that have actually experienced this and can express it from their perspective. Because there could be hundreds of men that could say, I still look at ass and titties. I love that shit. And my woman respects it now because she realizes this is who I am, whatever the case may be. But there are also men out there that I'm not fazed by a bitch. You don't do shit for me. I'm fulfilled. My cup is fulfilled. I'm good. So where you're coming from the same aspect as many men here that have been in long-term relationships that can say the same thing. I still enjoy some ass and titties. And that's okay.
Somebody ping Sagone in here.
Shopify, I think you wanted to say something.
I'm pinging some people in right now.
Shopify, are you still here?
Yeah, I was going to say that, to have this conversation of how a man and a woman feels about this specific situation is comparing apples and oranges. It's like two completely different hardwired things that are trying to make a comparison, and it doesn't work that way. And the biggest issue is management of expectations. And if you're laying next to somebody and they're like a god to you, the only place that person can go is down from there. And there's no way they're going to keep up that level of like lust and love towards you for the rest of your life. So all it's going to be is setting yourself up for disappointment. And so the better that a woman can manage her expectations of what the man is for her and what he can do and is going to do sustainably, that's where women can that's like a very clear advantage if a woman can figure that stuff out. Because expectations being that high, you're fundamentally just setting yourself up for failure, no matter what you do or anything you try to do. And I bet
that nigga wear shades all the time.
No, so that's the thing. You should not have to fake what it is you are. You shouldn't have to try to change someone either. It is okay to be engulfed with someone. And what's crazy is my energy, actually, I always, and when it comes to my connection, the beautiful part about it is I can see a fine ass man. Look, I probably work with a few. I can see fine ass people all the time. But my energy, they could say whatever the hell. I'm just not connected. It's nothing for me. So I've literally always matched. And when I say spiritually matched, my longest term relationships are always matched with people that are literally, when I say my other half, a soul tie. And when Gypsy mentioned that her relationship, mine was 5.5 years. When her relationship fizzled and ended, something happened. Something happened in mine as well. That broke away that connection, that broke away that trust and that understanding and those things that made it
trust
solid.
Trust, 100%.
Right, and it changes everything for you because at that moment,
Gigi, what is your zodiac sign? I'm curious.
Oh, I'm a Cancer, but
I'm a Scorpio, so maybe it's because we're water. That's why.
You're a man. You'd be my.
Man, hell now.
But yeah,
I'm a Scorpio with a Cancer moon and Cancer rising in Pisces moon. So maybe it's that the water that we feel deeper.
Girl, maybe it's I don't know nothing about that shit, girl. But
maybe y'all both from the same fraternity.
Yo, childish.
I feel like if people were more
Kappa Alpha Psi
connected with their soul, and if people were more connected with their emotions, honestly, you'd have less people fucking other people because they'd be more connected with what fulfills them and not how they can overfill their cup. I think it's one thing to say, "Oh, I'm married and I'm happy," and to say, "But I still want to fuck other bitches." You're a contradiction, a walking contradiction.
Well,
So
that's
I think a woman.
that's not true.
That's
wait, let me
that's
get
not
Sagoon up here
true.
because I want to
That's
talk to a
not true.
married man. If you guys could
Bring
please,
that nigga up.
Come on,
if
Sagoon.
you single men could please hold on one moment.
Hey yo,
Wait a
you might fuck around and get the wrong Sagoon today.
Heather.
I don't give a damn how long I've been married.
And Vanessa.
If I see Beyonce, I'm still gonna look at her the same way. Like, damn, why?
Let me get Sagoon up here.
Hey yo, hey Sagoon.
What's good? What's good,
Ask
family?
it right,
Hey yo,
Jason.
yeah, I know you had an eventful last few days. I see you been working, my brother. Congrats on all the workload, man. See you everywhere. Hey,
Thank
so
you.
look,
Appreciate it.
hey, check it out, Sagoon. Gigi says when you are married, you know, of course, if you're married, you're in love with that person. That person is possibly your soulmate, right? Or else why would you marry him if you didn't feel or think so? But when you're married, that you are not supposed to look at or be attractive to another person ever again in your life.
That's not what I said. Hold on, let me correct that real
That's
quick.
not what you're saying.
It sound like
Give me 1 second.
I think-
Sagoon, don't
Hey,
forget.
I mean,
Just
last time I
going
checked, it's only one Gigi in this motherfucker.
Jason is trying to sabotage this for us, Sagoon. Let me
kind of Taj?
reiterate this.
He just
Let
joined
me
the fraternity.
reiterate this. So what I'm saying, Sagoon, is that I have had the liberty, and I'm grateful for it because it makes me feel beautiful and fulfilled. I've had the liberty of being in relationships, a 5.5-year relationship and a 2.5 relationship, where I've had a veil over me, where I could walk into a room full of swinging dicks, beautiful abs, and not look at these men as sex objects, but look at them as, oh, I could do, we could do work. Okay, what industry are you in? I literally can go through my life and not think about men as sexual objects because I am so spiritually and emotionally involved and fulfilled. And
so
what
you can
I
have a full
suggested-
conversation with a swinging dick in your face.
Let me finish. I don't know who's speaking, but hold on 1 second. We don't do that in the arcade. So what I was saying is, what I enjoy is that I can have this with this person and we can have this emotional connection where nothing else matters. I feel fulfilled. And what I suggested to the stage and to the audience, what Jason and I are suggesting is that, well, I am just because he's actually going against it, is that when you have this beautiful feeling, other people, I feel if you don't have this, your cup is not filled. I feel that you continually wonder and you continually look because your cup is not filled and you're always trying to see how you can fulfill that cup. So why suggest marriage and suggest wondering and looking at other bitches and ass and titties? And if you're not, if this is not fulfilling you, why marry someone? That's not fair.
Well, were you in love with this guy that you with now, Gigi, when you said you wanted to spit in my mouth last month?
Yes, and that was 4 months ago.
No, it wasn't. That was like last
And
month.
that wasn't to you. That was to a woman. I never told you I wanted to spit in your mouth. I never told any man I wanted to spit in their mouth. I always spoke to women in the arcade in the game of Gigi. And that's a fact, Jack. But yes, and I like that shit. And he knows I like that shit. But Sagoon.
Hey, yo, Nikki, rewind the tape.
Oh, Lord, who got the tape? Somebody rewind it. But Sagoon, when I speak about a belt, and maybe this isn't for you guys, I don't know. But I literally, I don't look at other men. I just don't care. And I don't tell him he can't look at other women. This is not something we communicate to each other. We emotionally and spiritually are so involved and or like one. When I say one, I mean one. I mean God touched this, and we're not even married. So that's what I mean. I just want to hear from your perspective as the man.
I'm about to start singing Negro spirituals in here. Y'all niggas need some help.
So the first thing I would say is that women and men, as we know, are very different. So men are very visual, very tactile, right? So it's like, you see a woman or if she fits the bill or whatever, I can look at, and women don't trip off of men, I think, in the same way men do. Like a man might see a beautiful woman and immediately their mind is going to, she could get it. Whereas women don't necessarily, not saying you all do that, but you don't necessarily look at men like they're on the menu the way men are always or typically always looking at women as if she's on the menu and I might snack on that. When you're married or if you're in a healthy relationship, I'll be perfectly honest. I can see every single beautiful woman on this platform. I want nothing to do with any of you past friendship. And it is because none of what any of you amazing women possess, in my mind, touches my wife. It doesn't mean that you all aren't pretty or smart or accomplished. You are. You are beautiful harmony. Y'all just ain't my type of music, and that's not my dance. So when I look at women now, if I'm with my wife or without my wife, I'll also run mental calculations. What is it worth to me to see this beautiful woman, turn my head, and go want to talk or chat this woman up? And what will it cost me? So I can run the cost benefit analysis like an economist could. But if I'm with my wife, my head doesn't move. My neck doesn't move. One, because it'd be disrespectful as hell. Two, my wife has a mean left hook and a right jab. So there's no reason for me to get caught out there with my head turned looking at some woman when I'm with my wife. It's wildly disrespectful. So does it mean I can't see beauty or see pretty? Not at all. I can see all of you beautiful women on there. Do I want anything to do with y'all past, hey, this is my friend Gigi. Hey, this is Lala and Brandy and Jocelyn and Luna. And all, that's as far as it goes for me. That's as far as I'll ever let it go. Because the alternative is dangerous.
I think the question, Sagoon, for me is, well, okay, well, we heard how you act, how you hold yourself in the presence of your wife. But when your wife is not around, do you do the same thing? Do you not turn your head at all? Do you not look?
Honestly, when my wife's not around, and this is not me capping, and Game, maybe you and I know a lot of other guys that are maybe in entertainment or whatever. You've been around, I mean, the most beautiful of the beautiful, right? Like, you've seen whether they have none of that. You've seen swimsuit models and Playboy bunnies and top 10 and video vixens. So there's really not much out there that, whether I'm with my friends or not, where I'm going to be like, wow, that's like, I feel like I've seen it all. And whatever I haven't seen, it wasn't meant for me to see. So if Jason and I, Game and I are at a restaurant and the 10 perfect 10 models walk in, I'd be like, yo, Game, man, like, yo, that's 10 attractive women. But I'm not coming out of my composure. I'm not chasing them down. I'm not trying to do anything at all. I never take it to a point of like disrespect or where I would want to approach them. I always feel that whether my wife is there or not, the eyes of my wife are upon me. The eyes of my daughter.
Hey, have you ever been to a strip club?
When I was married or before I was married?
When you was married.
Never been to a strip club while I've been married. And I don't like strip clubs as a rule before I got married. I find them to be the place for, this might sound bad, low-hanging fruit, but it's
because it seems like on the men that's not married, it seems like y'all trying to make niggas be perfect. Like, people make mistakes. Not just because that nigga fucked that girl or
looking at a woman ain't no goddamn mistake.
And no, but here's the thing.
I'm saying like a sin. People commit sins every day.
I'm not saying that you can't look. I'm just saying that what I see, I don't see it with the same intent, if that makes sense.
No,
like,
okay,
I see that she's
Amen.
pretty,
yeah, that's what we're saying.
But I'm not trying to chase this woman down. I'm not trying to offer her a number or get her number or even contemplate like, yo, we can go get a room. My wife ain't never going to know. Like, none of that interests me. I can still appreciate pretty. Like, I can look at a work of art on a wall, but I'm not about to heist that painting off the wall of a museum. All of these beautiful women in the arcade right now are beautiful pictures on a wall. And even if I saw them in real life, I'm not about to heist off with them when, I got Fort Knox at home. Like,
hey, Sagoon. So, okay, you might not like go forth with any actions, but how far does your mind wander? I think that's what Gigi was trying to get to.
My mind wanders as far enough to say she is really pretty. She will make somebody happy, but she's not going to do anything for me. Because for me, like, this is going to, apologize to anyone who finds this vulgar, but like, you can't fuck just pretty, right? Like, for me, like, we're going to have to talk to her. Okay, so I got to invest some time. I got to talk to her. Is she interesting? Like, all of this stuff that's going to play out to me is a waste of time when that's time I'm spending away from my wife or a conversation I could be having with my wife. I don't look at it as I need to do anything with this woman. So again, that's just me. I'm not saying all dudes do that. I'm not saying all dudes have to do that or all women should have dudes that do that. But for me, for my marriage, the way I entered it, and again, y'all got to remember, I got married late. So I didn't get married in my 20s. I got married in my later 30s. So for me, there was nothing where I'm like, no, I never got to do X, Y, and Z. I've been on the islands. I've done all of that. I've gone to Europe. I've been like all of that stuff. I've lived in LA for 20 years. Like I've gone to the clubs. I remember Ledoux and White Lotus and, you name the club, been there. It doesn't really matter. So looking at women now, it would be like, for what? Plus, honestly, I don't not wear my wedding ring. So I'll be really honest with you. If I see this woman and wherever my mind is going to go, if she would even entertain a conversation with me while I'm wearing my wedding ring, I'm a snake now. But what she worse than the snake because she sees my ring and she wants to talk to me. She would do that to another woman. I get all of that stuff in my head, and so I don't ever take it past. That is a very beautiful woman, but that's just not for me.
I commend you, brother. We need
that.
more niggas like you, but I'm cursed or something.
Hey,
No.
look,
I think it's not. Let me just speak on
you
this
ain't
real
cursed,
quick.
bro. Look. How many women on the stage is married? Let's answer that.
You already know that's.
I was married or is married.
Hey, yo, hey, nah. We talking about no was. We talking about how many women on the stage. Look how many women on the stage. All you beautiful women. How many of y'all married? Just asking for a friend.
It's crickets. So let me ask my question. Sagoon. Hey, Sagoon. So basically what you're saying.
Wait, but hey, one more time. Is anybody on the stage married?
It's crickets.
I am married.
Hold on. Hold on. Who?
Christina.
Oh, Christina. How long you been married?
10 years next year.
All right, 10 years. And your husband doesn't, he's not allowed to like look at other women at all or like do
no, I've never said that. He's not blind. He could be happy and not be blind. It's our natural makeup to know. I might notice someone looks good. That doesn't mean I want to have sex with him.
I know, but does your husband feel the same way? Has he ever cheated or?
I mean, only God knows that, not that I know of, though.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Go ahead, Heather.
So, Sagoon, basically what you're saying is that you do have thoughts that are inappropriate, but you tame them before they get out of reach for you to tame?
No, actually, no. I don't have thoughts that are inappropriate when it comes to these other women. Like, I can see that you're pretty. I can see that, oh my gosh, she's got a great figure. But it stops there. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, one of the reasons I don't like strip clubs is just because, like, okay, this woman is dancing. Like, I can't touch her. She can't touch me. And I'm supposed to give her money to dance. Like, it just seems very silly to me. So that's not a fun time for me. Walking down the street, seeing a hot woman walk by, like, okay, a hot woman walk by. Anything more is going to take me out of who I think I am. And I rarely like to play myself for cheap. So to play myself for cheap would be, ooh, there goes that hot woman. She could get it. Let me holler at her. Look at the way she walking. Like all of that stuff that I'm now doing in my mind, I've degraded not only myself, but I'm degrading her because I'm reducing her to a bunch of parts. I have no idea what she's thinking. I have no idea what her mind is about. Now it's just tits, ass, legs, all of that kind of stuff. Like I get a bucket of chicken if I want legs, thighs, and breasts. Like I don't really look at women and now start reducing them to body parts. I find that to be just rude. And I don't like to think of myself as a rude guy. I also don't like to think of myself as a crass guy. And so if I start looking at women and breaking them down into that type of thing, then for me, it's a slippery slope to then, okay, now I'm gonna do that with my wife, or I could do that with my wife. For me, it's a lot healthier and easier to say, look at Heather. Heather is a gorgeous woman. She will make somebody happy. But her gorgeous isn't my wife's gorgeous. And my wife's gorgeous is my gorgeous, right? Like, everyone understand that? Like my wife's beauty and brains, that's me. That's our thing. I get her. I might not get Heather's jokes or Gigi's jokes, or one of these women might need the satin or silk pillowcase, and I'm or might whatever, like gotta lay her hair down, or there's so many things that go into it that Why even let my mind get to that?
Let me ask you something, Shagun. Is this you know, this way of life, this way of thinking, the way that you are? Did your wife like put her foot down on that, or is this something you developed and you came up with yourself? Like, I'm gonna be this way for my wife, or did your wife say my husband's gonna be this way or else?
That's a great question.
I've never told
This nigga knows about that left hook already.
Yeah, no, I joke. Like, my wife is a very, very powerful, amazing woman, but my wife always jokes, ain't nobody really wants you, Shagun, and if they do, they gonna throw you back anyway. Like, we joke about attractive, and I've gone on TV and said she'd kill me in my sleep for Idris Elba. Like, we joke about stuff like that. But one thing about my wife is we were at a holiday party, and you know, some woman was giving me attention that my wife felt was low-key inappropriate. And honestly, I did not even hear my wife approach, but next thing I know, she's standing right next to me, eyeballing this woman, like, and you are, and why, like, it's not a game when it comes to she feels somebody has crossed the line. So for me, it was never like, oh, if I look at another woman, my wife is going to be whatever. But my thought is always with, I'm so lucky to have my wife. Why would I want to look at another woman? Why would I disrespect my wife to have her catch me looking at something other than her? Like, that's just the way I think. So, and again, it's the way I think with my wife, right? Like, when I can appreciate beautiful women, see that they're gorgeous, understand, but again, that's just not that's where it goes. Like, where
Okay.
Hey, so
Can I
All right,
say
ladies
something,
and gentlemen,
just so
ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing Shagun's wife to the stage.
My wife does not do social media. That is crazy.
Lord. So, Gigi, look at it.
So you're pretty much saying it's okay to be attractive.
Who's speaking? That's dude.
This dude, what up?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, we gotta start doing that little name thing again. Look, I got me scrolling.
Yeah, my
What you
fault.
saying, dude?
Hey, Deuce, what's good?
What up? Like, I just want to know. So you're saying it's okay to look and be attracted to somebody, right? Without lusting or like emotionally cheating, or you know what I'm saying? Take it like diving in like that. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that you can appreciate somebody's beauty, but
you can admire. Yeah,
you can admire, but you know when you are taking it too far. Like, every dude knows where. I'll pose this to you, K-Deuce, Gabe. Anybody who's been in the music business, you've been in the studio when all of the hot girls come in, and you know that it could be 10 girls in there, 10 women in there, and they do nothing for you. But when that one bad one walks in, you know, okay, like, she can get, everybody else don't matter. I never let it get to that, right? I can appreciate all of you beautiful women that are on stage. I will never let it get to a point where my mind starts wandering about what could be. Because once I start wandering and thinking about what could be, I'm fucking up what I have.
Right.
I don't believe in fucking up what I have.
So let me bring this up. So before you brought it to the track, which is why I got excited about pulling you up, just to get your perspective as a married man. I mentioned how, like, a lot of men, Jason, can walk down the street, could be in a relationship, walk down the street and see some ass and titties and say, I want to fuck, whether it's to themselves or out loud or whatever the case may be.
Nobody says that out loud.
What I was suggesting was that when you are engulfed emotionally and spiritually with someone, maybe this is an untapped area for a lot of people. And I'm realizing that today. And honestly, maybe that shows whomever I do marry, if God says so, the man I'm with, I am a very lucky woman. You know, I already think I'm lucky, but I think I'm very lucky at this point, because to have that kind of connection is so fucking rare. So what I was saying is, I literally have a veil. When I say I can see men, but not see when I told you there could be dick slanging, I mean that shit. That shit don't mean nothing to me. You could do nothing for me. You are handsome to her, she, and this one over here, but you mean absolutely nothing to me. So what I'm saying is, you being married and saying that you still see other women as attractive, and you can possibly, you say that you have restraint. That's the only difference I'm hearing between yourself and the other single men here, is that you restrain yourself because of your marriage.
Right.
That's what I heard. He said no, G.
No,
He
no,
said no.
I'm not. It's not about restraining. So, okay, Gigi, for example, if we talk about the veil you're talking about, where you could have 1,000, like there's this line: I can be amongst them, but not of them. Right.
Mhm.
So I could be in a room full of strippers or a room full of bad, incredibly looking women. I'm amongst them, but I'm not of them. Like, that's not my thing. Like, there's
Right.
nothing that they're going to do or could do for me that I've never had experience. So the fact that I have a wife, one, I probably shouldn't be in that room. But two, other than they're there, they're just there. They're like, I want nothing from them. Every beautiful woman that I see, I don't want anything from them. Right. So if I walk by and I see this beautiful woman, it's not about restraint. You have nothing that I want. So other than, hey, nice conversation or whatever, but to try and bring you home or bring you in my bed or maybe cheat or do something on the slide, it's nothing like that. It's not, I don't think it's a restraint thing. It's just that what do you have?
You're covering your mic up. Move your hands.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Shagun. Sounds like you're covering your mic.
Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, it's like the beautiful women don't have anything that I want. It's not that I can't say I'm not blind. I can see beauty, but that beauty does nothing to me anymore, right? It's like someone who builds up a tolerance to drinking or drug or whatever. Like, I can see the beautiful women. I can see and I can say, oh my gosh, wow, she works out a lot, or oh my gosh, she's got great or whatever. But that's it. It's not. None of it is for me. None of it is anything that I want. So,
and ladies, before y'all go home and get mad at the nigga for looking, it's 1 out of 100 niggas in here like that. So don't go do that nigga wrong because he looked. It don't mean you're a bad guy.
You'd be
Boy, you gonna be single as a dollar bill for the rest of your life.
Let's be real fair. I'm not saying like you talking about looking, right? There's a difference between looking. There's a difference between looking and searching, right? So if you with your woman and you scanning to see what other women are walking by, I think you're wrong for that.
Yeah, you're wrong, but people make mistakes. People make mistakes.
If you're with your woman and a beautiful woman walks by and you crack your neck to look at her, I think there's something wrong with that.
Right, I agree with that perspective.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
The difference between looking and searching, that's totally like that's the key right there. Like, if you're searching, then you are going out your way to do something wrong. But if you like looking, okay, Gigi is like this, right? So you're a pescatarian. You've been pescatarian for what, about 4 years now, sis? Like 4 or 5 years? Right. So, when we be at dinner or something like that, I might get some chicken or some steak. You can admire how good my food may look on my plate, and even though in your mind you're like, okay, well, I'm a pescatarian, I'm gonna eat my shrimp and my salmon, but in your mind that my food looks good. Like, what I'm saying? Like, and you might even want to, in your head, maybe taste a little bit,
Salmon.
It's salmon.
I know, I don't care. I say it that
Country
way.
people say
That's how
salmon.
I say it, and I'm gonna say it like that till I die.
But no, Chastity, go ahead. I like where you're going with this because I feel you. I love that you're bringing it to like this so everyone can understand what I'm trying to say.
So what I'm saying is like, so even though like you have made this commitment to being a pescatarian and eating your salmon, you still can admire, like the other,
The steaks and the chicken.
Yeah, the steaks and the chicken, and it doesn't make you like, I don't feel like it takes away from the commitment you made. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like, even if you was to taste a little bit, take away from the commitment you made. I just feel like at the
You lost me at taste a little bit. If you pescatarian,
I agree with it, bro.
No, exactly.
If you pescatarian eating beef,
Let her finish.
I have a best friend who's a vegetarian, and she's been a vegetarian for a long time. And one day she had a craving for a Chick-fil-A sandwich,
and she went and got that home.
And she went and got it, but she never turned around again. But she needed it that day. So, but she's still a vegetarian in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know not to bring her a chicken dinner.
But in my eyes, she a cheetah.
Can I say something?
No,
can I say something, you guys, please?
Wait, hold on 1 second, gorgeous. Let me speak to Chastity's point real quick. Chastity, I agree, and I love the fact that you added this dinner option for us. What I want to suggest is when I decided to become pescatarian, I made a life choice. And honestly speaking, I remember what lamb tastes like. I remember what steak tastes like. I no longer acquired that taste. It doesn't
But
excite me
that
anymore.
day that we was at Taste Bar, you was lusting on my lamb chops.
That
That
is
time
no.
we went,
I
you were.
told you. I remember how it. No, I did.
Tell the
I
truth,
remember
sis.
how it
He throwing
and
under the
it was,
bus.
and I remember it was good. But I don't acquire. I don't have an acquired taste for it anymore. Because any day I can grab some of them hoes and I could cook them hoes. Any day there's an option out there.
You can admire the beauty.
I don't have an acquired taste for it, which is why I've been pescatarian for so long. It is a life choice.
But we
And it is
speaking on
emotional.
right now, y'all.
Can
Let's talk
I
Let me
about act
wait. Hold
like
on.
a
add
nigga
something?
act
Can I say
of.
something,
But,
please?
but let me
Hold on, let's let Gigi
finish.
And a
finish.
nigga can be drunk.
Let's let
But
Gigi
hold
finish.
on, can y'all give her
King is
one mic,
speaking.
please?
Please.
Thank you.
Sis. Because we don't do that in the arcade. Just another reminder. Because I want everyone to have their voices, heard. But,
Come on. We was waiting on.
That was disrespectful.
I felt like what she was saying was disrespectful, but I ain't say nothing.
I mean, I feel like
We
I
don't
wish
do
I was
that
a
in the
bad
Trap.
arcade. I'm grown.
This is her room,
What are you
King.
talking about? This is her room.
Trap, we don't do that in the arcade. Oh, it's nothing wrong. It's okay. So, all right. I'm sorry, you guys. Now I can't even get my fucking thought across. But Cassidy, I love the fact that you mentioned that. But again, I do feel like it's a lifestyle, and I am emotionally involved in this lifestyle. If I eat some lamb chazai, I literally will feel so fucking bad emotionally because I betrayed myself and my body on something I told myself I wanted to do. Now even if you're working out, if you tell yourself I'm working out every week, you feel like shit if you miss that workout because you instilled in your mind emotionally that you challenged yourself. This is something you want to do. You're excited about it. It feels good. And you're connected to that emotion. I am connected to how I feel. And I think that's why I don't stir. And I have not eaten shit, in years. But I do love that you mentioned that.
I add something. This is Juan at the bottom. So I am bilingual, and I think that one element in the conversation is how languages are limited or favor the idea of love. Like in Greek, like the problems that we're talking about are universal. And the ancient Greeks had 7 different words for love because they understood that there's different stages of how you can love someone, whether it's a friend, family, lover, lust, whatever. And doing some research, I found that Sanskrit has 96 words for love. So when you think in that context, there are way more ways to express love towards someone, but it's limited by the language that we speak. So maybe we need to evolve the language or introduce new words. I mean, it's not impossible. That just wanted to throw that out there.
That's a very valid point.
Hey, this is Makiba. This is Makiba. I like to speak when somebody's done.
Yes, welcome to the stage, Makiba, baby. We love you.
Hello, everybody. I just want to say I love my damn self. I might lust over some dick. I might lust over your looks. But I love my motherfucking self to be bothered with bullshit. Gigi, I am in total agreement with you. I am an emotional, spiritual, intellectual being, and that's what I get attracted to. Just because you look like something or you fine or whatever, how much money you got or whatever like that does not attract me. That's why I'm single today. Because if we can't emotionally get attached like that, and I don't have all the other elements of that, it ain't gonna work anyway. So for me, I can't speak on anybody else there. So, and me coming from a different perspective, that's where I'm in tune at. And that's why I'm going to hopefully and pray that the same person that I desire will come in my life with those type of qualities there. So I don't see nothing wrong with what you're doing. I wish you the best on that. But far as like what Sagoon said, I'm for that. I don't tolerate any disrespect. Now, there's attractive people out here. I don't have a problem if a brother looks, but don't be disrespectful. Don't be having your fucking tongue out your damn mouth or being disrespectful. Because trust and believe me, I can look, and I know I'm a good-looking woman for my age, whatever. I'll look just as good. And I will, I get attracted by certain looks or whatever like that. But, just don't be disrespectful. I mean, nobody's saying that you're not human. You're going to look and you're going to attract, as long as you don't fuck that person or be trying to go more than what it needs to be. You can look at people, attractive folks or whatever like that, but as long as you don't step out of line. Because as soon as that happens, you're a done motherfucker with me. I don't tolerate that. But that's just me. Some women tolerate, don't have a problem with that. I do, because I demand respect, and that's what I expect out of the person that I'm with. That's all I got to say.
Preach. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Makiba.
Out of everything that's been said, I think we can all agree to Makiba's point that we know we're not blind. We know we're going to continue to see people that we're attracted to, but it's about whether or not you act on it, whether or not you stick to the commitment that you've made to your partner, whatever that may be.
I love that.
Wait, you know what?
Luna.
I was just going to say to the gentleman who talked about love in the different languages and language needing to evolve, I think that one of the things that we also, and Gigi touched on it, I think Heather touched on it, Makiba has touched on it, and women, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But and I say this all the time, love does not work in theory. The theory of love, of that I'm gonna pour into this person, and this person is going to pour back into me. But even if I do pour into this person, I'm doing it because I love them, regardless of whether or not they pour into me. I just love them so much, I'm gonna keep pouring. But in practice, love works. You have to practice it, right? So you have to every single day pour into this person and demand and accept that they pour back into you. But if you think about it, when we get lost into our head about what the relationship is supposed to be, or that this dude, as like the brother has been calling me, super Negro, where they've been saying like, oh, I'm a one of one. It's just that I practice this with this one person, my wife, every single day. And I have to. Because like Gigi said, if you get on that regimen of working out and you miss a day of working out, you feel like crap. If I disrespect my wife, or if my wife looks at me and in her eyes there are tears or a feeling that I have disrespected her, I feel like crap. So it is a practice every single day. Some men don't want to practice it, don't have to. Some women don't demand that you practice it. There are different strokes for different people. But for me, for the only way that I have seen marriage work in the way I want it to work, what I saw with my parents, what I've seen with other friends, etc., it's a constant, everyday thing. It is not easy. Sometimes you don't necessarily feel like you should have to do it, but you do it because that's the job. That's what you signed up for. That's what you want. Right? Like you can't complain that you this person loves and wants so much from you. You signed up for love. You said that you wanted it to be you and them against the world. So why wouldn't you try to build them up and want them to build you up in return? It is a practice. It is not a theory. Do not think about love in those abstract terms of, well, if my man is 6'3", or if my girl got light skin, wavy hair, or dark skin, full lips, whatever. It is a practice. Practice it every day. And I swear to you, you won't go wrong if you practice it every day.
I love that, Sagoon. No, because Sagoon, I want to, Fredo, I think you wanted to say something too, but I love that Sagoon mentioned practice. And after Fredo's done, I want to speak on that, Sagoon. But Fredo, you wanted to add something to the conversation?
Nah, I don't think the gentleman's in here anymore. But I like one key word that I kept hearing come out of his mouth was like, mistakes. Like mistakes. Like I feel like as a grown man, as an adult, that it's not a mistake if you look at another woman. Obviously, you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You chose to look and you got caught. It was not a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you should not be doing it. Like one thing I know, if I'm with a lady, I'm like, if I feel like my eyes are wandering somewhere else, like me, I naturally like, no, I should not be doing that. So it's like, it's kind of like, I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be looking. You're not going to see me twist my head. You're not going to see me do none of that because I'm so like, to me, eye contact is very important. And if I'm not receiving that from my partner or a woman that I'm sitting down with or even enjoying a moment with, then it's just like I feel like a loss of connection, you know what I'm saying? So I was just, the poor trap, he kept saying, like, hey, we all make mistakes. Like, I feel like that's like more of a boy answer instead of taking full accountability and be like, you know what? Damn, she was attractive. That's what I like. And I just got caught. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I like that you added accountability in there, but I do see what you're saying as well. Like if you're gonna look, you're gonna look. I think what I really been saying like hold to is the veil of not even seeing it. But I mean, we all have eyes, we see. I get that. But when I say see, I mean see in a different way. And I think I don't know if it's being tapped into. I know that Gypsy feels me when I say that.
Yeah, can I add something? Sorry.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I know you've been ready to get in there, girl, but give me 1 second. But that veil is, I just don't know how to explain it. Veil is the only thing, like JC, I said, that hoe is see-through. But when I say veil, I just feel like that is the only way I can explain having a shield over you where nothing else matters. I want to allow Gypsy to speak, but I want to add one other thing real quick. When I'm speaking about this shit, y'all, I just want y'all to understand my perspective spiritually. I feel a soul tie, and I fuck. Okay, I've had a lot of beautiful sexual moments. But when I say a soul tie, I feel like is a true like blessing. And I feel like it's a soul tie for a reason. And I feel like when we talk about biblical times, when they refer to like God's blessings in marriage and things like that, I believe that shit makes sense. When you are spiritually inclined, when you understand your spiritual and emotional balance, when you know how to align those things, when you do not allow the world to take over whom you are as a spiritual being, as an energy in an orb, you literally can align yourself. And it's beautiful. And they've done this shit for centuries. But when you break through of the world and all this bullshit, you can too be aligned, I promise. Like, and this shit happens naturally for me because I just find myself being excited and engulfed spiritually that nothing else matters. But I wanted to just mention a soul tie being equal to God's blessing. I feel like it's there. God has that blessing for a reason. And I think that's what I associate with it. And I also want to say, before I pass it on to Queen, is that I feel like it's when we're bred to wonder and lurk and look outside for something new that, you don't have that. It's because you're more engulfed in the worldly pleasures and what else you can have. That's why I mentioned your cup is not full. And that's not for someone else. That's for yourself. You keep looking because what you have is not enough. You'd actually rather a little bit more. You'd actually rather that ass and titties in your hand that's walking by because the ass and titties in your left hand is not enough.
Yes, ma'am.
And I feel like it's not saying that you guys are wrong for having these thoughts. I just feel like, and I'm not above anyone. I'm just fucking spiritually inclined in my relationship. And I love that shit. I love it because I can honestly say that I am matched well and I'm best meshed when I have met someone that understands my idealisms or that sees me and feels the same way. And if they don't, that's fine. I've been with men that have wandering fucking eyes that aren't as spiritually inclined. I just feel that personally, I love them differently. And we play, and I could say, I love you more than you ever loved me. I love you so much. And that is fine. It's not saying that his love is not worthy of my love. It's saying that, babe, I have this spiritual connection with you that is so beautiful. And I'm grateful to have someone that has that connection. I want to allow the Queen the floor now because I think she may have a different perspective. I'm not sure. Is that Gypsy?
Just before we do, Gigi, I'm going to go ahead and reset the room if that's okay.
Oh, for sure, MJ. Thank you.
No problem. So to everybody just joining us, this is your Clubhouse Reset Queen, MJ. Welcome to the arcade led by the game and Gigi, where students of life gather to exchange knowledge on love, life, legacy, and art. We welcome you to mute your mics or we will mute them for you. And when coming up to speak, state your name so that we know who you are. Don't forget to follow today's moderators and whoever else has added value to your life. And of course, as usual, smash that greenhouse button at the very top to follow. Today's subject, I love you. I'm just not in love with you. Very loaded if you ask me, but I love everything that Shagun mentioned earlier. And I'm pretty much in line with his thought process. But Gigi, I think you said you had Gypsy that wanted to speak.
Oh, I don't know who it was. Thank you, MJ, for that reset.
Hi.
Who it was.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Like, first of all, I just want to say I'm so happy that someone else has this perspective because it's really good to talk about this because this is something that seems like it's in fairy tales and whatnot, but it's a reality when you get to that place. So one thing I want to say is, first of all, it's not walking around and saying everyone's ugly. Okay. It's about this desire that you only have towards your partner, that to share intimacy and to want and desire that with your partner. So it's not like a guy's walking down the street and thinks, oh, everyone's ugly. It's about this pure desire that you only want to share this beautiful intimacy with someone. You don't look and be like, oh, I wonder what that girl moans like. Oh, I wonder what her pussy feels like, how tight her pussy is like, or looking at her ass. It's about this pure feeling. And I think that's something that you have to get to. I am 32 years old. I didn't get to this place until I was about 28 years old to really connect with someone like that. And it takes the right person that you can be vulnerable with, that you can really let go with, and that you build, like what you mentioned, a soul tie. And once you experience that, I've experienced that and I've lost that. And it's very painful. But when you experience it, there's nothing like it that could ever. I don't care how big a dick is. I don't, I've had my freaky times. I've never had any complaints, but like, there's nothing like when you really connect and make love with someone. You can still be freaky as fuck when you make love with someone, but when it's completely pure, where you're holding nothing back. And when you have that, I can walk around. I don't care how attractive a guy is. I don't look at him and think, oh, I wonder what his dick or this or that. I just don't. And it's something too. I don't ever want to be with a guy where I have to be like, oh, don't do this, don't do that. I want someone that in his heart, he just purely wants intimacy with me. And it's not me telling him what to do. I don't ever want to have to tell a guy what to do. I just want us to have this bond that we have that no one else has. And when you have sex on such a deep level, it's something that you don't want to share with anyone else other than someone you're close with. So I want to say that. And then another thing I wanted to add is, when you're with someone, a lot of times when people are together in the beginning, they're excited about them. And then people kind of get to a routine. And I think it's important every day to make the choice to be like, you know what? I'm excited about you. One of the guys that I was with, we were at Target or something, his shirt came up and I was like, oh my God, baby, you're so sexy. He was like, why are you saying that? You see me every day. And I said, because I want you to know how amazing and sexy you are. And complimenting them all the time. Like you can choose to have that for your whole relationship. You don't just have to have that where you're really excited about each other and telling each other you're sexy just in the beginning. And I think that's a problem too, where people have that in the beginning where they get complimented and told how amazing they are, and then things fizzle out. But instead, you can still be that person for each other and still have it exciting and still have that. So that's what I wanted to say. And thank you again, Gigi, for talking about this, because it's a lot of people need to hear this. So thank you so much.
Hey, Gigi, it's Daphne. I wanted to say something.
Hey, Daphne.
Hey, how you doing? I wanted to say it's been someone that I was in a relationship for a long time, and we had a soul tie, but I wasn't sexually attracted to him. So because it wasn't that strong sexual attraction, it caused me to look elsewhere. Sometimes, I mean, not all the time. I'm not like promiscuous like that, but it was just like I connected with this person on a deeper level, more than sex, that I had never really connected with somebody like spiritually, mentally.
Did everybody else's microphone go mute?
Oh no, you guys can't hear me?
No, we hear you. No, she's still on.
Oh.
I think it may just be glitching on your Instagram.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, so I think that sometimes you can have a soul tie with people and just not be sexually attracted to them, or they just don't do it for you in that section, because we're beings and we're more than sex, right? It's other things that stimulate us as a person. And with that being said, somebody might not just stimulate that sexual part of you.
I got a question for you, Daphne. How long did that last though? Before, like, are you still with that guy?
No, I'm not with him, because I got a little older and realized, that I wanted more. But at the end of the day, I kind of always want to go back because we connected. I mean, I'm from Florida. I'm from Florida. I like to fish. I like to do stuff. I like to go places. And as I'm going through navigating through life, not everybody like to do the things that I like to do. And when I tell you, this person, we would do everything that I wanted to do, that he wanted to do. It was just a completely open relationship. When I had troubles with my family, he was there. When he had troubles with his family, I was there. We just connected on something bigger than sex. And that was my best friend, but I just wasn't sexually attracted to him. And I tried to force myself, but it just wasn't there. That's the best I can explain it, guys. I really don't know why, but.
Hey, Daphne, did you, the fact that you wasn't like sexually attracted to him and everything else connected, that shit hurt your feelings, huh?
Hell yeah. I cried because you can't find anybody else to connect with you.
You hate that, right?
You know what I mean? Because then you'll find a nigga that sex is great, but then he a dumbass.
Yeah, nah, that shit crazy. I just know for a fact because I heard it in your heart when you were saying we did everything I wanted to do, everything he wanted to do. That was my, my partner in crime. We had fun. We went on vacation. We did this, we did that, and then I couldn't make this nigga. I couldn't make myself attracted to him. That shit has to hurt.
It does. So when I hear everybody saying like, yeah, it's hard not to look. What if that person just not sexually fully attracted to you? Just because you have sex with somebody doesn't mean that's fully what you're into. You know what I mean?
And then on the flip side, it's like, somebody could just y'all have amazing sex, but then after that, it's like you want to get the fuck away from them, far away from them until you feel like having sex with that person again. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit is weird.
Yeah, that's like being physically attracted to somebody, but not mentally or emotionally.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that shit is it's terrible. That shit is real hurtful. If not to nobody else, to yourself. It's just fucked up because you want someone you want it all. And so that's what most people are in search of. You just want somebody that's like damn near perfect. Like no one's perfect, but right. But we all have our, what's almost perfect to us. And you really, really, really want that shit.
But you know what's funny, Game? Some of these, like, I don't think we oftentimes are honest with ourselves. This is Shagun again, sorry. I don't think we are often honest with ourselves about what our version of perfect is. Like, I'll give you an example. A young dude, old dude, middle-aged dude could watch one of your videos or see you out, man, I want to be like Game. Ooh, look at the girl Game is with, and think that that's what they should have. I'm not sure who would ever say that, but I'm just saying that you could see from afar and think that's what you want to, or you should have too, not realizing that what your version of perfect, like the young lady says, she's from Florida, she likes to fish, she might be outdoors. She could be drop dead gorgeous and like fine as fine could be. I don't fish. I don't like the outdoors. For me, Shagun, Four Seasons is not climate. That's a hotel with a suite. That's what I prefer. I'm that dude. So outdoor thing, she could be fine as whatever, but that wouldn't be for me. And if I saw her with somebody and be like, oh my gosh, she's so fine, that can't work for me. We would not be good for each other because I'm not going out on a boat. I'm not going where the mosquitoes. And I'm from Africa and I still don't do none of that shit. So you got to understand you as the individual. What do you like? What do you need? What do you want? What's your version of perfect for you, not somebody else's? And I would counter or go even further and say, dudes out there, if you judging your idea of a woman based on what you see your idol, matinee idol, movie star, rap star, whatever, TV personality, whatever, if you judging your version of perfect on what you see them having, yo, you lame for that because you're not them. You can't live their life. You don't even understand the trials and tribulations that it takes to live their life, let alone what it takes to have a woman like that or what that woman brings along with it. So understanding what works for you, what's your kind of beautiful? Is it a country girl from Texas or Florida? Is it a city girl from New York? Is it a girl that knows like all the streets and avenues in Los Angeles? Like whatever your perfect is it a college educated girl with glasses that loves to read? Is it Netflix and chill, or we got to be popping bottles? You got to know what kind of woman is perfect for you, because until you do, your neck will be like an owl just spinning around going who, and looking at chicks that don't do anything for you. Understand what your version of perfection is and then go find it for you.
Hi, this is Tony down here. I get nervous when that word perfect is used, for people down here on earth. I know that someone's, for everyone has someone for them. But I mean, I think perfect is a hard, measurement to live up to. I would agree with Daphne that I had somebody who was hitting on all cylinders except that romantic piece. I loved him for who he was as a person, but when it came down to possibly getting romantic or anything, it just was not there. And I would never force, if something's not flowing and it's not natural, I would never force that part of the relationship, because then that's where you'll get into a situation where you will be looking around and, hoping to catch somebody else's eye. Just be true to yourself. I mean, and what Sagun was just saying, you have to know what you want for yourself. And you kind of have to, get into the mindset also that no one is going to be completely perfect. You can compromise and not settle. You know what I mean? If someone's hitting on all cylinders in every department of the relationship aspect, then kind of go there. But, you have to be patient with that. It's not going to happen right away. More than likely, you're going to have to take time to get to know someone. And that's where I believe we could all be rewarded, is when you take the time and have the patience to get to know someone. Then you're going to make that connection. You're going to make that ultimate soul tie, but you have to be ready for that. Until you're ready to make those connections and true soul ties, I wouldn't even suggest getting into anything serious.
Exactly, Tony. That was the key. Taking the time to girl, you came on it. First of all, thank you. You added, you vegged on that beautifully. Taking the time to take care of yourself and getting to know yourself emotionally and spiritually, so that I think that the issue is, though, in the world we live in, we're so inclined to being a dog and being a hoe and being this and that and being young, wild, and free. Don't care right now, one life to live. That we're just screwing and doing and doing and doing. I think that's why the Bible really, and I fucked a lot. Again, I've done my thing. I'm not a saint. I'm a saint that's just a sinner, like the song. But but with that being said, what I'm trying to say is, we literally live in a world, and when we say worldly eyes, we live in a world that wants us to lust and fuck and suck and cut. We want to do all that shit because that's what the world is telling us needs to be done. Sex sells, all this shit. But if we really remember what the hell the Bible said, and what we're really inclined to do spiritually in order to be charged spiritually, we are capable of doing so fucking much. And I think that's why the Bible and these different scriptures and these things that the ancient people did allowed them to be so emotionally and spiritually in touch and tapping into things that we have never seen, because we're so damn worldly.